Welcome to this week's edition of the O'Fallon Shiloh Chambers, Getting Back to Business. I'm Justin Ward, back by popular demand. This is my second time hosting, and scheduled to be the 6th episode to drop of the series. So this is either my Terminator 2 or my Godfather 2 moment, or if you're looking at it from the whole series, it could be my Harry Potter, Half-Blood Prince, or Mission Impossible Fallout moment. Either way, proud to be a part of it. With me today is Sarah Burton from the City of O'Fallon's Parks and Rec Department and the Vine Street Market. Sarah, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. My first question is because I've seen your last video. I've seen that you're all over Facebook too. You're a local celebrity like myself, and you're part of the everybody's favorite weekend location. How do you deal with the negative sides of being so popular and so famous, if you will? The adoring fans, the autograph seekers. My wife and my neighbor both, they're annoyed with trying to keep TMZ out of my yard. It's crazy. So
yeah.
I'll let
Oh, you're way more famous than me, though. I don't have to deal with any of that. If I did, I'd just go in hiding.
Hey, spoiler alert, I don't either. So yes, getting serious now. Getting serious. Sincere. What I need to know a little bit of background on just the Vine Street Market itself. What's the relationship between the Vine Street Market and the City of O'Fallon?
Yeah, sure. So I'm really bad with dates, so you'll just have to forgive me about that. A couple years ago, there was a program called Destination O'Fallon. That came with a hotel motel increase, and that project is what helped develop the O'Fallon station where the Vine Street Market is currently held. It also helped add turf soccer fields out at the sports park. Mm-hmm. So that was one big project that was funded by hotel motel tax. And prior to me ever learning about that, I had kind of played with the idea of potentially starting a farmer's market in Community Park, which is the original park here in O'Fallon, which is where my office is at, next to Katie Cavens. And then I kind of caught wind about the Destination O'Fallon, and I saw the plans for the building, and I was like, whoa, well, that would be really awesome. So I actually rewrote my job description, and kind of think probably I'm jumping ahead here a little bit, but I rewrote my job description and asked to start a farmer's market, and they agreed. So I'm still horticulturalist for the city, and I'm also the market manager.
So essentially you have two hats.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. No, that's good. That's because all joking aside, this video is about you guys and what you guys are doing over the Vine Street Market. So jump ahead, add a little bit if you need to. That's fine.
Sure.
So this is the second year, right, that the Vine Street's up and running.
Correct.
So what was the biggest highlight from 2019?
I think definitely hands down, without any question, the biggest highlight is just the amount of community involvement and the amount of community support and what it did to help bring people together. That market last year became more than just a farmer's market. It was a place for the community to gather together, to hang out together, to socialize on a Saturday morning and come and get coffee, visit the downtown area. There's been some fantastic work done with the revitalization of the downtown business district, with the chamber and all the other businesses that are there. So it's becoming a popular spot. It's a place that people want to visit. And, there's always the underlying theme of a farmer's market is about supporting local, but this I feel like went above and beyond, and it's not something that I did. I just created the logistics of a market. The community is who actually created that environment and that vibe. So that was hands down the biggest success from last year, and something that I hope to carry into this year, but COVID is really, really challenging that. So we will move forward anyway.
Right. No, you keep leading me into my next questions. I love it. So obviously we're a little behind schedule for opening up as we know it. So, how's that affected things? How have you had to adapt? How have you had to reinvent it so you can still maximize the potential of this season?
There's been a lot of reinventing. Amanda Mellenton with the Carriel Garden, she's a teacher at Carriel. She's also on the Vine Street Market Committee. I think she said it best that I win the award for building 3 different markets this year. So in April, in March when COVID hit, we just didn't know. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how bad it would get or if it would just kind of move through and we wouldn't have to adjust anything. But a lot of markets that are much bigger than us, especially in the Chicagoland area, have year-round markets. And so we were kind of watching what they were doing as far as all the adjustments that they were making. A lot of places went to a drive-through market. I cannot be given the credit for creating a drive-through market, which is what we ended up doing, because every other market that I know of is doing that. So I spend a lot of time on webinars, and I spend a lot of time working with other market managers through the Illinois Farmers Market Association. We have a closed Facebook group that we can go in there and ask questions to each other and just say, hey, how are you handling this issue? Or what are you doing about this? So it's really been a collaboration amongst market managers about how we were going to tackle this and be viable. The nice thing is that farmers markets were listed as essential so that we could move forward and just kind of re-innovate some things. So a couple vendors came to me and they said, hey, we are going to have produce, or we're going to have product. What do you think about starting earlier than May, which is typically when the market would start, would have been May 11th this year, and start this thing up in April and give the community another alternative to going to the grocery store, because at that point people were quarantined at home. They did not want to be out in public. This was an option for them to stay in their car, pre-order and prepay online. There was very, very minimal, if any, contact at all. And so we just ran with that. That part really wasn't too bad to create, the logistics of it. So yeah, we just made a new web page on our website and put the vendors on there that you could pre-order from and how they wanted to pre-order or get your orders, I guess, and how they wanted to pay, how they wanted the customer to pay. And then we just had a drive-through market, and the customers would come through with their name on a sign, which was awesome, and who they ordered from, wave through the window, and then the vendors would just put the produce or whatever it was they ordered in the back of the car, and away they went.
That's great.
So yeah, so from that, I'll jump into kind of the sports park a little bit, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely.
As things have kind of started to open up a little bit more, we wanted to offer an option that people didn't have to pre-order, because we were getting a lot of feedback about people who were like, I'm not internet savvy, or I don't want to pre-order. I just want to kind of see what people have. So that's how the idea for the sports park came about. It's a big enough space that I can spread out the vendors, spread people and the cars out, and it's a safer traffic flow. And that was the big reason why we moved from the downtown out to the sports park. Was we had 2 lines of traffic going, and so vendors were crossing traffic to deliver, and it just was an accident waiting to happen. That's not what I wanted. So yeah, so we were able to move out to a bigger space, make it safer, and offer some more things. And then all the changes with COVID happened and restaurants started opening back up, and so that's why we're moving again, and I'll talk about that later.
Good. You were very humble with your response that you and your team didn't create the concept of the drive-through market, but I mean, it still takes collaboration, like you said, to make it successful. And from everything I'm hearing, it's going very well. I would worry that people would want to see the produce before they pick it out. I think that's something that people are, they have their secrets. They like to knock on things or smell things or squeeze things. So the produce thing has to be tricky to order, online, I'd imagine. But it seems to be working well, right?
Yeah. We did kind of bend the rules a little bit in terms of produce. So the Vine Street Market is typically a locally grown produce market only. Okay. So the vendors and the produce all have to be within 100 miles. Because in April, there's really nothing growing, maybe some radishes, maybe some asparagus, late April, early May. So we bent the rules a little bit, and we did allow produce vendors to purchase in different produce. Okay. So it really was no different than going to the grocery store. So if you wanted bananas or apples or that kind of thing, which is completely out of season for Illinois, you still had that option to get that at the drive-through market because our produce people were bringing that in. So yeah, okay. You don't get to see it, but you just have to trust the grower at that point. Right. It's kind of what the farmers market's about.
Sure. Let's jump into some of the more intangible things. So part of the reason we're doing the series is to help other people in business that might have struggled during this time or that need advice, what kind of things have you compiled? What's a tip or a mindset or, just something that you can pass along to your peers in the small businesses?
Flexibility is the biggest thing. If you can't really just roll with the punches and understand that every single day is probably going to look different, it's going to be a bigger struggle for those who can't do that versus those who can. I wouldn't call myself OCD, but I do like to have control of things, and
Sure.
I'm a planner. I like to plan. Early on, I just really embraced the idea of this is going to change every single day, and we just have to be okay with it. Everyone else is doing the same thing. It will all work out fine in the end. People's attitudes were a lot better about maybe things weren't just so. So they were a lot easier to kind of make things happen. So that's my biggest advice. And, just self-care too. It's tough, and people handle these types of situations differently than some better, some worse. And, you just need to kind of take care of yourself as well as much as possible. Check in with yourself, and that's absolutely okay to do.
That's fantastic advice. So I like to, I think that people connect with people, not necessarily businesses. They connect directly with the people that are running those businesses or the faces of them or the people that you're going to see at the market every time. So I like to do a speed round to get to know you a little better.
Okay.
Ask you the hard-hitting questions, right? The ones that are really going to make you think. But we don't give you much time to think about it. So,
okay.
Are you ready for that?
Yep. Fire away.
Okay. What is your favorite beverage?
Mountain Dew.
It could be adult or not adult.
Definitely Mountain Dew, and that's terrible for me, I know, but it's my thing.
Okay, that's good. I won't let my kids watch it because I don't encourage that type of thing.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
Dances with Wolves.
Okay, Kevin Costner directing there.
Yeah.
Fun. Favorite book?
It's a tie. The
Okay.
Sand County Almanac by Aldo Leopold and Where the Crawdads Sing.
Okay. What is the most recently the hardest you've laughed?
Oh man, it's a laugh fest at my house every day with my husband. He writes funny notes on the grocery list on the board on our dry erase board on the refrigerator. I can't share what the last one was. It's kind of inappropriate, but it's hilarious. Every day he laugh for sure. Really hard.
I mean, husbands are the best, right? So yeah.
Yep.
Go
Yep.
Husbands. Okay, so now I know a little bit about you. Debbie told me a little bit about you. So what is your favorite thing to hunt?
Oh, wild turkeys, without a doubt.
Turkey.
Yeah.
So we have something in common, right?
Okay.
I get no greater thrill than sneaking up on the Butterball in the grocery store. Just going to that frozen food section, just surprising the heck out of it. So,
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, everybody needs their own thing.
My success rate is through the roof. Okay.
Awesome.
So now we're going to jump to what's current. What's going on with the Vine Street Market?
Yeah.
So anything you want to plug, anything you want to tell us about the changes or what to look for, new vendors, anything, take it away.
So this is really exciting. And before I actually talk about Vine Street, we kind of didn't hit on this. I'm actually the horticulturalist for the city too, which I am still very proud of, even though I don't spend as much time doing that anymore as I do the Vine Street stuff. We finally just finished planting annuals. We are so behind, but this is a big celebratory day yesterday. So if you drive through the city and you see any of my staff out in orange shirts, I just ask people to give them a honk or a wave or something, because they have busted their tails this year on a skeleton crew to get everything in, and we're trying to get stuff weeded and that kind of thing now. So if you're at Rock Springs Park, which is where I am at right now, and you see all the plants and stuff blooming in the front, that's because of my horticulture staff taking care of everything. I do the design work, and then they end up taking care of all of it. So I just wanted to give them a big shout out. The planters around the station during the market, we handle those, do the design and the install on that. So yeah, wanted to kind of touch base on that. But so Vine Street Market is coming back home. We're coming back down to the downtown June 13th. So it was a quick change. It was a short trip out to the sports park for 2 weeks. We'll be there this weekend, which is June 6th. And then we are coming back to the downtown on June 13th. There'll be a few restrictions, obviously, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. We do just ask that people don't send, unfortunately, it really can't just be a big family affair like it was before. We need to limit the amount of people that are in there. It will not be an in and out, so I'm not restricting the people that are in and out. But, send 1 or 2 people from your household instead of bringing the whole entire family. Pets, we're going to have to restrict pets right now. I'm a huge dog fan, big dog lover. Yeah. I can't resist petting all the dogs, and everyone else is the same way. So it's just not the safest time for that right now. Our vendors will be spread out. There'll be 6 feet in between them. They'll be all the way around the station, even on East First Street, just on the south side of the building. The parking lot will still be open. You're just going to have to access that from East 2nd Street, which is no big deal, easy peasy. There will be coffee and produce and meat and baked goods, all of your favorite things that we can fit as many in there as we can. I will have to spread them out. We've lost some space because of booths, but other than that, it'll be the same. No live music yet. But hopefully, maybe in a month or when phase 4 comes in, we'll be able to do that again.
Okay. I do a lot of car singing, so I might be available for you,
Oh, gotcha.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great that you guys are coming back to the fantastic building that we have down there. I think it's good news and bad news that we can't bring the kids because the bad news is, obviously the vendors are going to make less money, but the good news is I'm going to spend a lot less because they like to buy all the dolls and stuff that you wouldn't expect to see there. That you weren't before. But there's always great stuff and a lot of great time down there. So any new vendors or anything that had interest in being part of it this year? Or?
Yeah, so we have actually through the whole entire COVID episode, we've been getting vendor applications. So
awesome.
Vendors can apply on our website. We have a new system in place for that, which is a lot more streamlined. Trying to think off the top of my head. So we do have to prioritize vendors right now because we'll have more limited space. We'll have less booths available. So food vendors take first priority and then our artisans after that. So we may not see as many artisans. I'm working through how many spots we are going to have available and kind of what that looks like right now. But Kaleidoscope Coffee is a new vendor that will be there. If you have been out to the sports park or been on our social media, they have that really cool 1952 Chevy truck in the most amazing not Perry, like a blue color. It's really cool. They pour draft coffee literally out of a tap out of the back of the truck. So it's really cool. So they will be there. Yeah. Our favorite coffee, our original favorite coffee vendor, the Coffee House Company, she will still be there. Yep. The Sweet KDBs will be there. Our meat vendors will still be there. So everyone's favorite meat vendors will be there. I don't know for sure yet if he's coming, but I'm going to give him a plug anyway. Flyway Family Farm out of Makanda is a mushroom grower. So that will be totally new for us. I don't know when he's going to be able to come, but he raises a ton of different kinds of mushrooms. So for those people that are really into that and the culinary world, it'll be a really great addition to the market.
Okay. So before I do my sign off, I want to remind everybody so we open on the 13th of June.
Correct.
And what are the hours going to be? And is it going to be just Saturdays and Sundays?
So it's only on Saturdays, and selling hours are 8 until noon.
Okay. So best time to get there. Are there lulls? Are there times where it's less busy? Or what do you recommend for somebody that's afraid of the crowds?
I don't know what it's going to look like this year. Last year, based off of that, I would say definitely 10:30. There would start to be a lull right at that lunch hour. The only issue with that is a lot of vendors were really picked over at that point, so not getting to see all the things. So I don't really have a really great time for people to show up. I don't know what it looks like.
Anytime between 8 and when you close, right?
8 and noon, yes.
8 and noon, okay. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, just come out and support the downtown. The downtown, a lot of those businesses are opening back up, which is fantastic. So it's kind of nice. You can walk the whole area down there and come and shop at the market, and then hit up all the things across the downtown all the way down to Fezziwigs.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I think this is a great refresher as far as what the Vine Street Market's been up to, and what your crew has been doing around town to make it look beautiful with the plants.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So if we're done, then I'd want to sign off by saying, O'Fallon and Shiloh, let's get back to business.